Oh my gosh, what an incredible, magical night. Being able to go in and night bathe, clean myself off, not be restricted to daylight because you work all day and then it's pitch black down there. You don't want to go jump in and there's rocks and they're slippery. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without my Bluetti AC 180. With an output of 1800 watts and a capacity of 1152 watt hours, it's enough to power most everyday electronics for a long time. And it's ideal for a range of circumstances, from outdoor adventures to home emergencies and outages, with its 2700 watt powerlifting mode and UPS feature. The AC 180 accepts up to 1400 watts of AC input, allowing for an 80% state of charge, about 920 watt hours in just 45 minutes. It also takes 500 watts of solar input, so you can fill it in 3 hours with solar only. And together with the eco mode, you can use the Bluetti app to optimize energy consumption to your liking. And it's really quiet at 40 decibels, and it has a lithium iron phosphate battery. I am so grateful to have this new tool in my life. So check out my link in the description to get your Bluetti AC 180 portable power station. Thank you to Bluetti for sponsoring this video. This morning I'm doing the first hilling of the potatoes, and basically what that is just mounding the soil or straw on top of the plants until they're just a little bit exposed. You don't start doing this until the plants have reached about 6 to 8 inches, so that being said, I'm only doing the front side because the back side is a little bit behind over here.
This is just so exciting because a couple of weeks ago when I planted them, I wasn't sure if I did it right, and then they took a while to come up, so this is awesome. This practice not only helps you increase your potato yield, but it also protects the potatoes from the sunlight, which would cause the potatoes to produce chlorophyll and solanine, and that will make you sick if you eat it, so definitely an important thing to do. Getting to come out here every morning and tend to the plants, watch them grow, just get really familiar with the garden. It's honestly a real dream come true, and it's so different from last year when I couldn't make it up here all the time. A huge bowl of cool veggies on a hot day is so good. And I can't wait for when all of this comes from the garden up there. I've been trying to shop local as much as possible. Ooh, mosquitoes. I'll go out sometimes, take a trip and find farm stands in the hills. That has been super fun. I'm so grateful that last week we finished putting together the porch. Getting to eat out here is such a different experience. It used to just be all sawdust, and now I can just like sit and hear the river and the birds while I eat. Although I can't wait to finish putting the screens in because all the June bugs and mosquitoes are taking this place over. Tonight I'm doing my very first infusions up at the cabin, one in oil, one in glycerin. With the oil I do need dried herbs, and typically the drying process takes a long time because I will tie everything up and let it air dry. That can be over the span of days or weeks. But tonight I was able to use my Blue Eddy AC180 to power up my dehydrator directly in the garden. So within a couple hours I'll have what I need for the oil. So on the other hand, for the glycerin infusion, I do use fresh herbs, so I just need to wash them all out briefly. Get them nice and dirt-free, bug-free. This is sort of similar to a glycerite if you were to use that, which is a tincture that's made with glycerin instead of alcohol. Sometimes you'll add distilled water in those infusions as well, but this is actually going to be for the skin because glycerin is a wonderful humectant and soothes things like sunburn. With summer coming up, that'll be great to have. So I'm going to make this concentrated blend and let it infuse for a while, and then I will add it with the right ratios to something like rose water or rose water and aloe and make a nice summer skin spray. So just gotta make sure these are really nice and dry and clean, then I can start the infusion. Now I'm just muddling this, breaking it up a bit to make sure more surface area is exposed to the glycerin and kind of pre-mixing it. Wow, that smells really good. I almost forgot to tell you what's even going on in these. So the herbs are rosemary, mint, and lemon thyme to stimulate the skin and wake you up. And then for the oil, lavender and lemon balm, both very soothing, calming, aromatherapy-wise, relieve stress. So it'll be a nice little oil to put on before you go to bed. Maybe rub on your pulse points and your temples to help you drift into a deep sleep. And I have a lot more herb than I thought, so I'll probably just let that air dry and make tea with it or something. The dehydrator is completely off. It's been 4 hours and the Blue Eddy is at 50%, so I still have half of the battery life, and I was able to completely prepare my herbs for tonight. Still acclimating to cabin life. I didn't realize that I'm almost out of olive oil. I don't have enough to fill this jar, so for the time being I'll just crush everything up, fill to where I can, just make sure nothing's poking out, and then the next couple of days I'll make sure I fill the rest. And I'll let it sit a couple weeks in the windowsill, but I am exhausted. I've got some dinner going on the stove, so I'm going to eat that and go to bed. I have a big work day tomorrow here. Today I'm going to get back into cedar shaking, which I don't even know when the last time I did that was, but it was pouring and the whole station was set up on the porch and we had a heater going. So many fumes, so it's really nice to be able to just do this out in the fresh air. I put up some twine on the trees behind me and I have this jumbled mess of clothespins because last week when I did the interior of the porch with shakes, I had to take down what we were stringing them up with before, and yeah, now it's just super tangled. We are really low on supplies, so I'm just going to tackle what I can today. We've got one full side of the cabin left to do and a bit of the other side where we had difficult cuts and just haven't gotten to it yet, I guess. I think back then we were just racing against the weather. So I have myself set up pretty good, and then also right here there's some additional drying racks that I used last year, and I can just kind of do that with it. So I'll see how far I can get with it today, and I have a couple other things I'd like to get done before nightfall too. I'm just about finished filling up this section with shakes, and it clicked that this is the drip rack. So everything will have a second to drip and dry here, and then when I fill it up, I'll move them all onto the twine and just keep the process going like that. I can't believe I forgot that, but I'm glad I remembered before I just had a weird system going here. I seriously think this is the biggest chunk of chaga that I have ever found in my life. I just went on a little walk this evening through the cabin woods, and I found a ton of berry bushes that I can't wait to go back to later in the season. And then I saw this, and wow. Chaga is actually really fascinating because it not only is an adaptogen and helps your body adapt to stress, but it also helps brain function, and it's anti-inflammatory, so it's got a lot of cool properties. You can remove the black outside and then powder it, use it in tea or a smoothie, really easy for all the benefits. I feel like in modern times it's so easy to get detached from nature and who we really are and all of our roots. Like a couple years ago, I would have no idea how to identify chaga and dozens of other things that I can now find in the forest that have very healing, beneficial properties or are just edible and you can enjoy eating them. And so with living out here, I really just want to learn and tap into all of this more, and I'm so grateful for the abundance in this forest. I can't wait to explore it more and really get to know it.